Titchmarsh show at 3. That's coming up, but right now there's a hairy biker on Loose Women.
So I've been asked to leave swimming club because they said I was soaking up water. The indignity! The indignity!
Oh, cheer up, monkey. You're always welcome in Cuppa Club.
Ah.
Here's to a catch-up cuppa. Loose Women, sponsored by PG Tips Cuppa Club.
Tuesday, the 22nd of October. We're staying put from the storms outside and having a chat. Alongside me, Andrew McLean today are Colleen Nolan, Janet Street Porter and Jane Moore. In the Loose Lounge, looking less than windswept, talking Hollywood heartache and health, is a fabulous Patsy Kensit. And we will also be joined by the hairy biker who wowed us all with his waltz on Saturday night Strictly. That's Dave Myers. Coming up, as a study finds that the typical British trait of saying sorry all the time is apparently making us seem more trustworthy to the rest of the world. Is it good for us to keep saying sorry? Plus, as research shows, smacking can increase a child's bad behaviour later on in life. Is a mother failing her child if she resorts to smacking? If you want to join in our discussions today, email us at loose.women@itv.com, post on our Facebook page or tweet us using the hashtag #LooseWomen. You'll need to get in touch by 1:05 p.m. today. Now, last night on Channel 5, the documentary Shoplifters and Proud followed a range of several prolific shoplifters in their day-to-day lives, from getting light-fingered with lipstick to taking 24-inch TVs from department stores. Nothing seemed safe from their sticky fingers.
Meet Jade Underwood, one of Britain's most prolific shoplifters and a bit of a local celebrity.
Hi! So everyone knows me on air. Just know me, but I'm not as bad as everyone makes out, innit? I get most people saying, oh, look at her, tramp, she's on a crash bow, so what, mate? It's a crash bow.
Is it?
Being naughty. Shoplifting.
You allowed out there?
Nah, I'm allowed in there, you know. That's the only one I am allowed in.
Now, Jade, who you saw just there, previously spent time in prison and was aiming to turn over a new leaf. However, at the end of the documentary, she was seen being sentenced to 12 months inside. Owen Brazil, 29, who has 30 court appearances to his name, also featured in the show. He said that the justice system doesn't deter shoplifters, as they generally just receive a slap on the wrist. But is prison the answer to cutting shoplifting clean?
Oh, don't get me started. Honest to God, I cannot bear thieves of any kind. They remind me of little rats scurrying around. And you know what? To me, because they can't be bothered to get off the lazy, big, fat... and go and get their own job and buy their own things, they just take all of ours, and I hate them with a passion. Is prison right for them? I mean, it depends, you know. I'm not saying that the odd teenager that runs off and does the very first dare as a friend should be locked away in prison. But certainly some of the people we've seen there and that
they
we
see it
hear
as
in
a job.
the papers.
What's breathtaking about that programme is they actually think that's a job. Like being a school dinner lady or working in an office. Oh, my job is shoplifting.
Yeah. Because they get away with it, though. It's like the guy that said he's been 30 times or something. He's been, in court and never gone to prison once. And
isn't the problem, though, that prisons are now officially full? I mean, there was something in the paper last week that says that we can only accommodate a few thousand more prisoners. So I think that, yeah, these people ought to be punished, but whether sending them to prison isn't just kind of a merry-go-round where they go in, come out and go back in again. I mean, I personally think shoplifting is appalling simply because it adds to the cost of everything we buy in a shop, because shops have to add the losses onto the price.
Also, if you're nicking from a small business, then that, it's all very well you going, oh, well, it's a big corporation, they can afford it. They probably can, but it does add to the cost of what the rest of us hard-working people go in and pay.
So what do you think the
and
deterrent?
if it's a small business, then it could put them out of business. And
what do you think the deterrent would be?
Well, prison didn't work for her. She'd been in prison, she came straight straight out and did it again. I think when you go to prison, you learn, you know, more
Tricks of the
criminal
trade, if you
behaviour.
like.
I would say that a deterrent should be sort of some sort of community service where you're taught, you know, restorative justice, where you're taken to see a small business owner and see the impact that your crime has on them.
People have the ability
do
to
something
care,
in the
though.
community, paint that community.
Has she got the
centre that
ability
needs
to care, though? I think she wouldn't care. I think she'd go in and go, I don't care, it's not
But
my
she doesn't
problem.
care about prison either.
Don't you think that they should perhaps go and have to work in shops, in very horrible jobs in shops?
Yeah.
Actually, it was somebody who
Serving us. That's horrible.
But if you, like Jane said, if you were running a small store, you've invested all your hard-earned money on it, I wouldn't let somebody like that in to trust them with the till and serving customers and
But
that sort
for
of
a lot
thing.
of these people, it's something that they've learnt from relatives or their family. It's, you know, I've known people who shoplift, and it's just like a family business.
Well,
and somehow you've got to break the cycle because they shoplift and then sell it on to other people.
Or really take buggies in with kids and use the buggy.
Well, would you say that there is ever an excuse to shoplift? Because we have seen reports in the papers over the past few years that, you know, with the economic decline, people are stealing food, people are stealing to provide for their families. Is that different, do you
think?
think?
There's all sorts of layers to this, and there's also the mental illness aspect. There are shoplifters who have a compulsion, like, you know, obsessive compulsive disorder. They have a compulsion to shoplift, and so I think throwing them in prison should be for people who are a danger to society, as far as I'm concerned.
You're shaking your head, Colleen.
No, I don't agree. I mean, I know that we're living in really, really hard economic times, and there are people out there who are hungry. But you know what? When I was growing up, you know, my mum and dad seriously had no money and 8 children. They never stole food. I mean, my mum pawned her wedding. I bet she wish she had a feast on me. But you know, she pawned wedding rings to make sure there was food on the table. They did everything, but they didn't go out stealing.
But if
and there was no help.
No, but that's desperation about food.
Yeah,
compulsion is another matter.
Yeah, but there's 2 things here. First of all, we read in the papers yesterday about the huge amount of food wasted by supermarkets. And it's disgusting. It's like over half of certain kinds of food is just routinely discarded. So in that situation, I think it's up to supermarkets to make all this food available. Just make it available for people who haven't got any money to buy food.
Yeah, but then you'd have to go through that whole system of working out who is genuinely there for the food, who's just there for free food.
But some supermarkets, Colleen, already do that. I know that when things...
Well, the food banks do brilliant jobs.
Aren't some of them beholden to health and safety legislation where they're not allowed to give something that's out of date in case it causes a, you know, whereas you just do the sniff test like the rest of us, don't you?
Well, also, you know, you touched it, and Colleen said that it was perhaps different for a teenager doing their first dare. What would you do if it was one of your children or your teenagers who was caught shoplifting?
Oh, they really would wish they hadn't been born under it, I'm afraid. I mean, my big thing with all my kids is, you know, obviously kids make mistakes. I stole a penny bubble gum when I was about 8, and I hid it in my room for 2 days and cried and then took it back because I was more scared of my mum and dad. I wasn't scared of the shop, of the guy in the shop. He was lovely, but my mum and dad, I thought they'll kill me.
Now, a lot of the time is that parents don't, you know, you see time and time again parents whose kids commit crimes and they go, well, I know they're no angel, but everybody else does.
Well, all I can tell you is I'm not frightened of many people, but I've never stolen anything. I was so frightened of what my dad would do.
All right, still to come are mothers failing their children if they smack them for misbehaving. We'll be discussing that after the break, but first it's competition time, and this week it's a corker. As we are giving away £12,000 in cash and £6,000 to spend at Marks & Spencer. Here's the question you need to get right for your chance to win the lot. Dale Winton hosted a long-running ITV show called Supermarket What? A broom, fee brush, sea sweep. Call 0904 161 1000. Calls cost no more than £1.54 from BT landlines. Other networks may be higher and mobiles considerably more. Text your answer, A, B or C, to 65029. Text costs £1.50 plus 1 standard network rate message. You can also enter for free at the website. Entrance must be 18 or over. Entries made after lines close at 5 p.m. on Sunday the 27th of October will not be counted but may still be charged.
Since you got all this, you've changed, you know.
She's right.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Loose Women, sponsored by PG Tips Cuppa Club.
Deals. Everywhere, aren't they? At Sainsbury's, we can help you get a good deal because we match comparable branded deals at Tesco and Asda. So spend £20 or more and we'll tot up the prices of brands in your basket. And if you could have paid less at Tesco or Asda, even because of a deal, we'll give you a coupon for the difference off your next shop. Which means you'll get a good deal at Sainsbury's.
Hair that looks this healthy doesn't happen by chance. It takes devotion and the power of Pro-V science. Pantene Repair and Protect and its soufflé with Pro-Vitamin B5. The system instantly reverses the signs of damage. For hair so healthy looking, it shines. Pantene. For an extra dose of care, upgrade to Pantene Intensive Repair Conditioner. It's richer in nutrients. Turn visible damage into shine in just 2 minutes. Pantene.
You really got me going. You got me so I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, you really got me now. You got me so I can't sleep at night. Yeah, you really got me now. You got me so I don't know what I'm doing. Oh yeah, you really got me now. You got me so I can't sleep at night. You really got me. You really got me. You really got me.
Entertainment. It's even better when it's free. Freeview. 95% of the nation's top TV. No monthly cost. How good is that?
This scared little donkey was abandoned, alone and hungry in a cold, muddy field. This poor boy was so cruelly neglected, he could barely walk. When suffering donkeys around the world need help, their friends at the Donkey Sanctuary are dedicated to getting them back on their hooves. Will you be a donkey's friend and adopt one today? We need you to help make sure their lives are full of love and care. Adopting a donkey costs just £2 a month, and all you have to do is call 0800 0380 142. You'll get a great adoption pack, including this stunning framed photograph of your donkey. We'll stay in touch with updates and photos of their fun and antics. You can even become Facebook friends. What's really brilliant is that you can actually visit your new friend and give them a big hug. Right now, there are donkeys who really need a friend. Please call 0800 0380 142 and adopt one with the Donkey Sanctuary today, because your new friend can't wait to meet you. Thank you.
This is James Blunt and his incredible new album, Moon Landing, featuring the hit single, Bonfire Heart.
You like the spark in my bonfire heart.
James Blunt, Moon Landing, out now.
Love will see us through if only you trust in me. Yeah!
Trust me.
Yeah!
Breathless. Now available on ITV Player. Ready when you are.
Would one like a scone to go with one's tea?
Can you understand a word he's saying?
Nope.
Oh, riff-raff.
Loose Women, sponsored by PG Tips Cuppa Club.
Welcome back to Tuesday's Loose Women. Now, according to a new American study, smacking your child when they misbehave could increase the risk of bad behaviour later on in childhood. The study showed that of the 2,000 mothers questioned, over half smacked their children once. They were about 5 years of age. When these same children reached the age of 9, they were the ones who were most likely to be displaying high levels of verbal and physical aggression. So is a mother failing her child if she resorts to smacking, Jane?
I think she's failing herself, really, because I think if you smack your children, you've lost control, fundamentally. So it's not something I'd ban. I don't agree with that. And I think, you know, minor smacking, if you want to do that as a parent, it's entirely your thing. I never have, because I have a tone of voice. I use it with men as well, works very well. Where you just have a look and you just kind of go, or some noise like that. I do it with my dog as well, but it works better with my husband.
But if you have a child who is completely misbehaving in the middle of a supermarket, what about, I mean, you're talking about losing control. What about the, if you do not stop that, I will smack you, in a controlled manner?
Because
is there a difference
I
there?
think that actually taking away something that they cherish, that all kids have got electronic devices or whatever, if they have a week without that, they're not going to do it again. It's all about controlling their behaviour over a long period of time.
If you're in the supermarket with me, and your child's kicking off.
Yeah, but my child doesn't. My child, I've got 3. They never have because I don't
never in
allow
a
it.
supermarket. But what I know, when I'm in a supermarket and I see a mother and the child's completely and utterly out of control,
That's because the mother's out of control.
Yeah, the lowering your voice, I don't think is going to work.
That's because
I have
she's
to control myself from going up.
She's not implemented that.
Or is it
from a young
just that
age.
you're really lucky and have very well-behaved children?
No, it's
Because
just
some
about
children are
training.
more badly behaved than others.
Think of teachers, OK? We've removed capital punishment from schools, quite right too. There are loads of scary teachers. The scariest teacher at my school just had Mr. Gray, if you're watching. He just used to do that. And you'd think, oh, blimey.
Yeah, but I do think, I mean, it's like my mum was the one that chases around with a slipper. But my dad could just stand in the doorway and say nothing, and we'd instantly stop.
There you
because
are.
It's that look and that tone of voice, because if he did lose his temper and hit you, you knew about it. I've got to say that I am a massive failure. Because I did smack both of my boys when they were little. And sometimes controlled, and sometimes because they were driving me mad. And I wanted to
When you
have them
smacked them,
frustration, isn't it?
when you smacked them, did it have a result straight
Yeah,
away?
instantly. Absolutely instantly. And I suppose because I grew up where, you know, my mother, till the day she died, used to say, Colleen Nolan, you're never too big for smack. And, you know, and so I grew up in that environment. It didn't affect me in any way. I just knew that that was the serious point, and I stopped doing what I was doing. Now, when I say I smacked them, it was never...
Yeah.
You know,
The difference between smack and
a smack
hitting,
on the hand or a smack on the legs. And I'm not proud of that. Now, with Kira, hand on my heart, I've never, ever, ever even smacked her hand.
Yeah.
I think that's because I'm a different parent. I was a lot older and had a lot more...
Or perhaps she's a different character.
Well, she's definitely a different character to the boys. You know, she's just much more laid back, and she's quiet, and it's never been an issue. When I've said to Kira, don't do that, Kira, because it's naughty, she doesn't do it. She doesn't like being told off.
My mother would whack me with a
But my
hairbrush.
boys, I did, and if that makes me a bad parent, I hold my hands up.
I'm not saying you're a bad parent. I'm just saying I think that I'd never say that. I mean, if I see someone in the supermarket cuffing their child around the head...
I followed them around the supermarket.
I will say something. If I see somebody smacking the back of the legs or the back of the... It's totally up to them. It's their prerogative.
Yeah, but I can't stand
We're talking
mothers in
about
the
me.
supermarket who go, I'm telling you, darling, that's very naughty.
Yeah,
And
but
this
that's
kid-
not me.
And I follow them around with my trolley thinking, please, just give her a little smack on the hand.
I don't think that giving your child one smack, like your mum did to you, or you did, that changes your personality in a later life whatsoever.
Well,
it teaches you there is a boundary.
And Janet, according to the study as well, Michael J. McKenzie, associate professor at the Columbia School of Social Work, what he basically says, spanking makes the kids stop. It gives the immediate feedback that it's working, but the goal is to have kids regulate themselves over time. And in that, spanking fails.
Well, hang on a minute. Throughout my entire childhood, my parents would hold up a hairbrush, and if I carried on being a mouthy, you know, cow
It's
like
not
I...
worked.
Yeah, but it did work in those days because I did have boundaries and I didn't want to get hit with a hairbrush, and it did teach me that there are lines you cannot cross. But as you said earlier, what is so annoying now is that you see people out in public, their children have way crossed the line and got into hysterics, and they're trying to have a discussion with them. Well, that point as well.
No, what I hate now as well is kids
thing.
turning round and knowing their rights, actually.
Yeah,
now.
but
Kids
that's the
now
big
turn
thing.
around and go, you can't
We're
hit
not
me because I
their
know my
friends.
rights.
Too many people try to be their child's friend, and that's where it's all going horribly wrong. We're not their friends, we're their parents, and we have to instill boundaries.
How would you feel, because you know, you've mentioned that obviously you've given, you know, Jake and Shane a wee tap. How would you feel if, say, Kira was at a party or something like that, and a parent said she was really out of line, so, you know, I know you don't mind, so I gave her a good tip around the head.
No, I wouldn't hit anybody else's children, and I wouldn't expect them to, well, definitely not hit mine. I'd expect them to tell me she was really out of line, and I would tell her off or whatever, but I wouldn't accept anybody else hitting my children without expecting a good smack back.
Well, I mean, you touched on it as well, Jane, in terms of you know, that teachers who just had to give a look. I mean, my mum was that. She just had to give a look.
But what
and we
about
knew.
you? How do you deal with your children?
It really depends, which is why it's so interesting to hear what Jane said and Colleen, because I have two very, very different children. Finley, as a boy, you'd think it'd be the other way around. Absolutely hates getting told off. Doesn't like. All I need to do is look at him and raise an eyebrow. Amy is a different matter, and it takes different levels of control with him. With her, yes, I mean, I have smacked her in the past, and afterwards cried horribly. Not that she knows about it.
Oh, I've cried. Yeah.
Because I felt like I've lost control. But at that moment, it's worked.
I've had two stepchildren, and one was 2, and this child was so difficult. But then I was in the invidious position of being the stepmom.
So you don't have a power base.
You have no power base. You have a child that's completely out of control. And I did try the naughty step voice, and I tried the look, and I tried being 6 foot tall with a tiny screaming.
Seriously, is that not enough of a deterrent? Kids meet your new stepmom.
Well, all I can say is
I was in a Disney film.
That child, but I used to go and absolutely tear up phone books.
All right, coming up, we are going to be getting personal with Patsy Kensit and chatting to hairy biker turned Strictly Dance Floor diva, Dave Myers. First, though, it is competition time again. And you will be celebrating in style if you win our prize of a massive £12,000 cash and £6,000 to spend at Marks & Spencer. Here comes a question you need to get right to land the lot, wherever you want to. Dale Winton hosted a long-running ITV show called Supermarket What? A broom, B brush, C sweep. Call 0904 161 1000. Calls cost no more than £1.54 from BT landlines. Other networks may be higher and mobiles considerably more. Text your answer, A, B or C, to 65029. Text costs £1.50 plus one standard network rate message. You can also enter for free at the website. Entrance must be 18 or over. Entries made after lines close at 5 p.m. on Sunday the 27th of October will not be counted but may still be charged.
There go the old bags.
Monkey?
Oh, tea bags. I meant tea bags.
Oh. Loose Women, sponsored by PG Tips Cuppa Club.
Asda's Big Shop of Horrors has over 100 spooky Halloween goodies for only £1 each, like tasty treats and devilish decorations at just £1. And you can find George creepy costumes from only £6. So get down to Asda's Big Shop of Horrors today. It's your one-stop shop for a happy Halloween.
Please, can I have a corn shaped like a teddy bear? Please, can I have the crust off the sandwich? Could I have a corner piece? Chocolate sauce, swirled. Can I have just 3 carrots, please? Do you have any bendy straws? And how cold is it?
With original recipe chicken, hot shots, hot wings, mini fillets and popcorn chicken, Mum knows the 5 Legends bucket has something to keep everyone happy.
Are we all happy?
Yeah.
Introducing hot buns from JML. Just roll, snap and wrap.
I love it. I love hot buns. It goes in fast and easy. It feels good.
And when you remove hot buns, you'll have gorgeous curls. The lightweight material allows air to flow naturally, setting the curls. Just roll, snap and wrap, and the style band secures it in place. You'll get 1 large and 1 small bun, available in 2 colours. You'll just flip over hot buns. Only $9.99 from Asda, Boots, Debenhams and Wilko's.
Wherever the party, do it in style with very.co.uk.
Discover the visible difference Purina One could make.
She immediately liked it.
She has more energy.
Her eyes look brighter.
My cat loves it.
See the visible difference you could make to her health with Purina One's advanced nutrition cat food. Join us now at purina1.co.uk.
Purina.
Purina One high-quality nutrition is now available in wet food, so you can treat your cat to something different. The taste she loves, the health she deserves.
Let's play Game Show Bingo!
There's
Make it new at jackpotjoy.com. Deposit £10, get £35 to play.
Call up some of my buddies and put on a heck of a show. Make sure we got a kitchen with an oven and a stove. We'll all get in there cooking, then we'll throw open.
IKEA have hundreds of ideas to help adults and children spend quality time together.
Meet the jacket, say hello, take a seat and watch him go. I thought you'd need an hour at least, you fluffy, tasty super feast. But no, in just 5 minutes time, before I'd even found a rhyme for done or quick or brisk or wow or yum 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 or holy cow. The tick had topped and on the plate an hour's worth of something great. The oven bakey tasty jacket, and out it comes of this nice packet. McCain, happy days.
And we're off. Game on.
All of a sudden you walk into cancer.
Wasn't the same person. I lost my instinct to finish.
Legends of Sport bear all in this 8-part series, Sports Life Stories. Starts with James Cracknell, tonight at 10 on ITV4.
S for Sarah.
Ta.
K for Katie.
Thank you.
And M for Magnificent.
Loose Women, sponsored by PG Tips Copper Club.
Welcome back to Tuesday's Loose Women. Still to come, we're going behind the headlines with the absolutely fabulous Patsy Kensit. But now our first guest may be well known as a hairy biker, and that's a dab hand at baking, but we think when it comes to the Strictly dance floor, he's definitely a smooth operator.
One more time.
Oh! Please welcome Dave Myers.
Nice to see you. Dave, where's the suit?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm come casual. Oh, I've got my dance class.
Oh, I thought you'd have dressed up for us.
I have. I'll
Did
tell
you
you, on
normally?
Saturday night I had more makeup on than you've ever seen in your life.
Are you enjoying all that?
Oh, I love it, yeah. Friday's tanning night, you know. You just get single dipped if it's ballroom, double dipped if it's Latin. If you've got a suit on, it's optional, but I always go for as much as I can get, really.
Did you go to a beauty salon as well?
Might have. Yeah, I think they needed to sort me out a little bit.
Were you exfoliated?
To within an inch of my life. I had a pedicure and a manicure, you know, because the hands have to be there and they have to be clenched. You can't go like that, you know.
Can I just say, you seem to be loving every minute of it. Because of that, I love every minute of watching it as well.
We love you.
But are you genuinely loving it? Is it harder than you thought?
It's hard. I think it is a full-time job. I mean, it's the best job in the world. But I'm very lucky having Karen to dance with because, well, everybody seems to be matched really well with the professionals. The professionals are very generous. So, I mean, when we finish here, I've got 5 hours dancing.
Wow.
And I love it. I love that side of it. Saturday night, just before you're going to go on, that might be a different matter, really, because your stomach changes and you think, I wonder if my feet don't work tonight, you know. And then, of course, you face Craig and it can all fall apart, really.
Now, not many people might know, but obviously you started out as a makeup artist.
Yes, I did.
So
I did.
Are you taking to that side of it all perhaps better than people would have thought?
I think I'm used to the studio setup. I'm used to like the makeup rooms, the costume and all the paraphernalia that goes around. And it's funny in the makeup rooms because I never, you know, to be on the other side of it, I feel quite comfortable. And yet I'm not quite sure I should just get a chair and sit there like I would have done. But the studio I'm used to.
And how do you find it with the judges? Do you take their comments to heart, or do you kind of think, oh, it's all just a bit of panto, it's all part of the show?
Well, I think we're quite constructive this week. I mean, I think dreadful and awful does leave me feeling a bit deflated. But yeah, I mean, the funniest one was Craig the first week when he said, Dave, he said, you're counting out loud. So you're counting your head and I was
You
going,
were in that
2,
week.
3, And I love Lenz was the best when he said, Dave, he says, watching you dance, it's a bit like being on a low-budget airline. It's a bit bumpy, but it gets you there in the end. So stuff like that I like.
But also, you got the longest ever standing ovation in the series history.
Well, apparently, yes.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it was quite a terrible... But give me a Paso Doble for Love Week. I mean, I'm charging around trying to kill a bull. You know?
Have you tried any of this out on your wife at home?
Yes, I have.
Which one?
Which wife? I'm only on number 2.
I know you're only on number 2.
Yes, I
What
have. The
dance?
waltz.
The waltz. Yes.
Yeah, I haven't got onto the lift yet. But, I said we tried the waltz out. But,
And have you lost weight?
Yeah, well, I lost loads of weight last year. But no, I do find myself... My Latin pants get taken in every week. And, yeah, no, it does you good. I mean, posture's so much better. I mean, Karen's had me sort of pinned to a wall, my shoulders upright, my arms like this, and every time I slump, she goes, stand up.
And what about Si? Obviously, your fellow hairy biker. Was he not tempted to go into the show with you? Were you both offered it together? Or?
No, a couple of years ago, somebody spoke to us both, and I just went, yeah, I'll give it a go. And it's not Si's thing.
Okay.
And how it came about. I mean, we first started the Hairy Bikers in 2004, and he wanted to take like 4 months off. And I didn't, because I'm older and worried about my pension. And so this came up, and there's that little gremlin that thinks, it'd be brilliant, you know. And that's how it all started.
Okay.
So Si came down to the first show,
Yeah,
and it was funny when he sit there in the front. I think his face when it was announced I was going to be dancing with Karen was an absolute picture.
Is he changing his mind now?
And you've got stepchildren, haven't you?
Yes, I've got 2.
So are they? How old are they?
The Serge, he's 24.
Oh, okay.
He's at Oxford, and he
So they're
loves
not embarrassed. They're not going, oh God.
No, he's not actually. He's the one. He's coming more often. His sister, she's 18 at sixth form college. Now, at first, I mean, I've done some embarrassing things in my life.
Yeah.
She just thought, oh my God, this is social suicide. But anyway, now of course it's going down all right. She's beginning to warm to it. Nah, they've been really good support, really.
Now you're going to do another series with Si, aren't you?
Yeah, we've already filmed it. We've been in Japan, Korea, Thailand and Hong Kong, and it's a Hairy Bikers Asian adventure. Proper kind of gutsy road trip, and finishing the book to go with that. Really good. It's our favourite food, you know. So that's done and shot. That'll be on in the spring.
And was it that kind of food that helped you lose the weight in the first place? Because obviously you had the hairy dieters.
Yeah, I mean, the hairy dieters. I mean, we come back off vacation, we were both on tablets, we got massively fat. It's not a secret, really.
Can you still get on your bikes?
Oh, just about. There was a lot of... so, no, this just helped. I mean, I couldn't have done this before I'd shed the timber.
Shed the timber, I like that.
It was. I mean, you look at us, we were casting shadows like walnut whips. You know?
So what are you going to be dancing to this weekend?
I'm doing a salsa for the Sins.
Okay.
I want to try and keep my posture and a bit more control because, like the first one, Moves Like Jagger, I got a bit
it was
kind
great. I
Yeah, I
loved
know,
it.
but I meant to do 4 air punches, then clear off, and the crowd got behind me. By air punch 6, Karen was digging me through. We finished.
That's great. That's what makes a show for me. I mean, I want you to be in it right to the end.
Thank
I
you
really
very
do.
much.
I
I'll
think
do
you're
my
so
best.
entertaining.
Thank you.
I mean, do you think you can win it? Would you like? Well, obviously, you'd like to win it, but do you think?
Oh, I don't. No, not really. Because I mean, when it comes to the judge's decision, if it's either me or one of the youngsters who are some amazing dancers,
Sure. Yeah.
you know, they are better dancers.
So we need to keep you out of that dance-off. don't
Public
we,
goodwill
really?
gets you so far, doesn't it? And then there's sort of a separation a lot where
I
people
think
kind of
so.
go, OK, this person's a better dancer.
Yeah, but
Where do you stand on the ones who've danced a bit before, though? Do you think that's OK that they can be in the
I don't
show?
think anybody has. I mean, it's like saying to me, you know, if I went out there at Wembley and scored a goal, you know, yes, I played football at school for 10 years, but I'd still want the credit for it. And, you know, I think sometimes there's a bit of sour grapes, and I think it's... On that moment, you have to dance.
Okay.
And people, you know, if you'd done a bit when they were children, then, yeah, you know, I don't see how it helps. You're still there, and, you know...
You've still only got that minute 30 or
You've got a
however long
minute
it is.
30, and if you blow it, you blow it.
OK.
Yeah.
Well, we hope you don't blow it.
Thank you very much. Thanks,
It's
Annie.
Dave
Thanks.
Myers,
Thanks,
everyone.
Annie.
Nice to see you. Don't forget Television time, and you could give any worries you have about your heating bills the heave-ho this autumn if you win our prize of £12,000 cash and £6,000 to spend at Marks & Spencer. Here's the question you need to get right for your chance to win. Dale Winton hosted a long-running ITV show called Supermarket What? A broom, B brush, C sweep. Call 0904 161 1000. Calls cost no more than £1.54 from BT landlines. Other networks may be higher and mobiles considerably more. Text your answer, A, B or C, to 65029. Text costs £1.50 plus one standard network rate message. You can also enter for free at the website. Entrance must be 18 or over. Entries made after lines close at 5 p.m. on Sunday the 27th of October will not be counted but may still be charged. Good luck with that. Now, researchers at Harvard University have found that saying sorry is one of the best ways to get what you want, and it seems us Brits are brilliant when it comes to getting our way by way of an apology. We seem to apologise for everything from travel delays to terrible weather, and this apparently makes us seem more trustworthy and likeable to the rest of the world. But is it a good thing for us to keep saying sorry all the time, and should we say sorry less often, Janet?
I like the way you just picked on me. Are you going to say sorry for that?
No.
No. Some of my nastiness is rubbing off at you, Andrea. I hate the word sorry being used all the time. It's so wet. And I think trustworthy is a euphemism for wet.
Yeah, dripping.
And the more that... Yeah, we're a bunch of drips. Aren't we a nation of wet, 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 drippy
Well, I'm terribly
people?
sorry, Janet, but I don't agree, actually. I say I'm ridiculous. I do. I'm one of these that someone bumps into me and I say sorry. You know, I do say sorry all the time, but I think it's nice, and I don't think there's anything. I think people need to say
But
it
it's
more.
insincere.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's not if you mean it. I mean, I hate people that say sorry and then do it again. You know, if they've made a mistake and they go, I'm really sorry about that, and then 2 minutes later they do it again. You know, say sorry and mean it. That's
if you say it all the time, it becomes meaningless in its context. So it's kind of a bit like the apology of cry wolf, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's kind
we're
of like
apologising for everything.
So you're just saying
aren't
sorry, sorry, sorry. So when you really are sorry about something and you genuinely want to apologise, it almost just kind of gets lost in a sea of sorriness.
Yeah.
And I
but
do
it
think
depends.
it's a bit.
I think,
I'm with her. I think it's drippy.
I think it's only that for people who say sorry and then keep hurting that person again or making that mistake again, then it becomes
What
meaningless.
about trains? Every day on the train, there's a sorry, isn't there? We're sorry this train is running 5 minutes
What do you
late.
want them to say?
No, you're not sorry.
And don't be sorry, just fix it, and then you don't have to say
Yeah,
sorry.
but the person that's saying sorry is sorry, he can't fix it, so he's saying sorry about this, they're trying to fix it.
Do you know what I'd like
I'd
to
rather
have?
say that than tough. Get on with it, shut up, Janet.
Miss Insincere over sorry person is, I want a system of red cards. The first time you say sorry, you can have a green card. The second time, an orange card. And the third, red card, I'm sorried out.
Sorried out. Do you think it is a typically British thing, though?
Oh,
Because what they're
totally.
saying is
Obviously
that
not.
overseas, people find it very endearing. You know, there's the whole... I'm not saying that this is, Hugh Grant as a person, but in the type of roles that he's played, people overseas see it as a very English thing, that kind of bumbling...
Yes,
oh, I'm
Hugh Grant
terribly
is a
sorry.
very good actor.
Yeah, in
He's
real
quite
life.
curmudgeonly in real life.
I know, in real life.
Yeah.
I get on pretty well with Hugh Grant, and he's nothing like that. He never says sorry. He's quite a grouchy old thing.
Do you know what I mean? That
Good-looking
image?
grouchy old thing.
I just think that if you've done something wrong to somebody, you say sorry, absolutely. But this whole thing, the report is going on about, oh, I'm sorry it's raining.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well,
we
I don't
can't do
say I'm
anything
sorry it's
about that,
raining.
so why
Yeah.
say sorry, you know, or I'm
But what about
sorry
people that don't ever... Don't you just hate them as much? People
Oh, yeah,
who
no,
never
that's
say
worse.
sorry.
Yeah.
You find it... Do you ever
My
say
husband
sorry?
says I never say
I
sorry.
say sorry in a row just to move it on so I can win. I don't mean it. In any row, I'll always... In any row, my partner...
So, you're as insincere as me then, because you never mean it
It's
when
a
you say
means
sorry.
to an end.
Oh, you say sorry. You see, my husband always says to me, he always says to me, the trouble with you is you never say sorry.
Yeah, you see.
And I go, well, I haven't done anything wrong. And then he,
Yeah, well, I only say sorry so we can move on to the next row.
But I do say sorry when I do genuinely think I've done something wrong. So I think that's the important
But it's just
distinction.
you never
And
think
what
you've done
to you...
No, with him.
Oh, right.
What to you would be a scenario where you would say sorry?
Well, I do say sorry if I bumped into somebody. So if I'm in a busy station and I go like that to do something and I bump into somebody, I say, I'm sorry, because otherwise they'll probably hit me.
What if they bump into you?
If they bump into me, I don't say sorry, because it's their fault.
I say sorry when they bump
If
into
they
me.
bump into me, I go back to them and I say, have you forgotten something?
Yeah, I do. I do.
So I'm terribly sorry, but we're going to draw a line on it. Still to come, we're talking life and love with Patsy Kensit. And make sure you tune in tomorrow when we will be meeting another of the showbiz world's living legends, Joan Collins. Yeah, she's led a life of glitz, glamour and general gorgeousness, and she will be sharing all the gossip on her glittering career with us tomorrow. See you soon.
I often think that joining a club brings like-minded people together.
Loose Women, sponsored by PG Tips Copper Club.
Tomorrow on Lorraine, it's the christening of the year and Britain's bonniest baby's big day. We'll be live from historic St James's Palace ahead of the baptism of our future king. And laundry bag squares have stepped out of the washing machine and onto the catwalk. Mark Hayes will be here with the latest trend for this winter. All that plus more. See you tomorrow.
The more your toothbrush bristles move, the better they clean. So switch to an Oral-B Power Brush. It attacks plaque with more brush movements than a manual brush for up to 100% better plaque removal and a better dental checkup. No wonder it's the #1 power brush brand used by dentists themselves. Oral-B, clinically proven, superior clean.
70% of women have changed their opinion on using a night cream. New Revitalift Laser Renew Night by L'Oreal. Our first night cream mask with 3% Proxylane and Centella Asiatica. Wrinkles appear reduced, skin feels firmer, looks smoother. Wake up to younger looking skin. New Revitalift Laser Renew Night by L'Oreal Paris. Would you like additional nutritional support as you get older? Try new Centrum Men and Women 50 Plus multivitamins. With adjusted levels of key nutrients, Centrum Women 50 Plus is high in calcium to help maintain bone strength. And Men 50 Plus is high in vitamin B1 to help support heart function. Centrum, personalised science for you.
The whole world revolves around numbers. Actually, I'm on a calorie-controlled diet at the moment, but I'm not counting. Diet Chef do all the numbers for me, and they just deliver my choice of meals right to my door. So I always look forward to lunch, pasta salad. And with Diet Chef, the portions are all worked out for you. Chicken curry, lovely. You could lose up to £8 in a month. Now that's a number I am happy to think about. To find out more, log on to dietchef.co.uk.
Discover a world of captivating fragrances. Pearl after pearl. Bursting with unique sensations. Indulge yourself in Airwick Essential Pearls.
Save up to half price on selected beauty and fragrances. That's the Littlewoods touch.
This scared little donkey was abandoned, alone and hungry in a cold, muddy field. He really needed a friend to keep him safe. This poor boy was so cruelly neglected he could barely walk. He needed a friend to look after him. When suffering donkeys around the world need help, their friends at the Donkey Sanctuary are dedicated to getting them back on their hooves. But there's one more friend they need, and it's you. Will you be a donkey's friend and adopt one today? We need you to help make sure their lives are full of love and care. Because safe and happy donkeys show their real character. Mischievous, clever, funny and lovable. Adopting a donkey costs just £2 a month. And all you have to do is call 0800 0380 178 to discover the perfect friend for you. You'll get a great adoption pack, including this stunning framed photograph of your donkey. We'll stay in touch with updates and photos of their fun and antics. You can even become Facebook friends. What's really brilliant is that you can actually visit your new friend and give them a big hug or a scratch behind the ears. Ooh, lovely. Adopt a donkey today and start a fantastic friendship. You'll be a big part of their lives. Right now, there are donkeys who really need a friend. Please call 0800 0380 178 and adopt one with the Donkey Sanctuary today, because your new friend can't wait to meet you. Thank you.
Thrown out of dance club. Well, I mean, it's impossible to do jazz hands with these.
Cheer up, monkey. You're always welcome in Copper Club.
Loose Women, sponsored by PG Tips Copper Club.
Welcome back. back to Tuesday's Loose Women. Our final guest has had her fair share of high drama in real life and from playing a variety of roles as an actress. Whilst on screen, she was busy snogging Mel Gibson and scheming as Emmerdale's super bitch Sadie off screen. Her personal life was splashed across the tabloids and scrutinised by the world. So, just who is the real woman behind those headlines? Please welcome Patsy Kensit.
Thank you for having me.
What did you make of old Dave and the Strictly stuff? Because you did Strictly,
We
didn't
did. We were
you?
chatting backstage about it. It's just that moment on Saturday night when the music starts, and my stomach used to drop, and immediately you wanted the bathroom. And he was saying yes. The same
That
thing.
doesn't
And
change.
you're sewn into your costumes as well, so it's an impossible situation. I know, but it's great because you're facing a huge fear to go out and do that and dance live.
And did you agree with what he said in so much as, because you've been performing since you're a wee tiny tot, does that make it easier, or does it make no difference whatsoever once you step out there?
Absolutely no difference whatsoever. It's terrifying, but again, the best fun, and the professionals are wonderful. So
Did you
it's
keep
good.
any of it up afterwards?
No,
Do you still sort of like in the living room occasionally?
Not really. I wasn't very good, so it was. You could have every intention to keep doing it, but I haven't. But of course, I'm a fan of the show. It's really good.
So you'll be watching?
Yes, absolutely. He's wonderful. I mean,
He's
God,
great, isn't he?
yes, and it's lovely to see people who genuinely are learning each week. It's great to
Yeah.
see the ones that are really slick from the start, but I enjoy watching people.
I do. I look forward to him coming out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You just do. And
Deborah Meaden, she's
Deborah
the
Meaden, that's
same.
right.
She's improving every
Exactly.
It must be so hard not to take what the judges say personally.
Well, Craig called me a chav. I remember. But he'd know, wouldn't he? I think it's because you're working so hard during the week and you want to do well for your partner because they're putting so much sweat and everything into it. And then at the end of the day, you just got to take it on the chin and then carry on.
Yeah.
And actually, Craig, he's a nice guy, but it's his job to be.
Yeah.
And of course, Len, we all thought, well, I was madly in love with Len.
We all are now.
Yes.
So, Patsy, you've got your autobiography out,
Yes.
Absolute Beginner. Beautiful photograph cover. I love that. Does it start right from the beginning? Do you go right back to your early roots?
It's very much so. It sort of starts about my father, who was a professional criminal, who we talked earlier about all of that. And I won't even jump a red light. I'm the most honest person on the planet. So it doesn't necessarily go from generation to generation. But my dad was in and out of prison, and I loved him very much, but he was a flawed guy. And my wonderful mum, who had cancer and fought the illness for many years, she was diagnosed as terminal when I was 4, and she died when I was 23. And I remember going to the hospital to say goodbye to her on about 6 occasions before I was 11.
Sure.
And it kind of robs you of your innocence a little bit. I think when a child understands that the mortality, it's a part of it's just something, and you kind of toughen up. So,
well, you took on a very responsible role very early on in life, in so much as when you started acting and earning a little bit of money, you became the breadwinner in the house.
Well, no, my parents never took a penny off me, but I paid for my education, and my mother went back to work when my father, went away to, help Her Majesty with her inquiries, and we just got by. But we had nothing, and then we, one week it would be corned beef hash, bubble and squeak, Mum used to call it, and the next week we'd go to Sheiky's for dinner. It was very...
How did you cope with that? Sorry, Jane.
Well, I loved my parents desperately, and my older brother.
But didn't you feel funny about your dad? The more you discovered about how he earned his money, did that change your relationship with him?
We were really protected, and I've got a couple of very close friends whose parents were villains as well, and we were all brought up with this code of very loyal and being able to keep a secret. I mean, my dad went to prison for 4 years, and we said he was in South Africa, and I kept this up, and it was just, I look back now and think, that burden as a 13-year-old to follow it through, and it's true of these other people that I've grown up with. They're the same, but we've all hard workers, and I pride myself on that.
Well,
I'd be livid if my
quite
kids...
Quite cathartic to write the book.
I thought I was going to
remember things that you kind of buried deep.
I think yes, and I was kind of dreading it. I thought maybe this is going to be a really horrible thing to do, and what it's made me realise, because English people, you know, we're quite self-deprecating, which I think is a wonderful thing, but I think about where I came from, where I started, and it's no great shakes, but the life that I've had, it seems impossible. I look back now, I don't know, it was sheer determination and luck and drive.
You started so young, didn't you?
I was 4 years old.
So when all of this was going on, you were still, you know, on screen and...
I was working...
Starring with Robert Redford.
That was a good place to start, I suppose. But my mother, I didn't really realise... No, my mum used to smile
Is he as
a lot
gorgeous as we think he is?
All the women used to get very happy when he walked on the set. I couldn't. I was just besotted with Mia Farrow and this bone structure. This woman, she looked like an angel.
Really? Yeah. She was very nice to you, wasn't you?
Lovely, very maternal, and Elizabeth Taylor the same. I mean, I had no idea who these women were, and just so generous. Elizabeth was she was such fun, and she had the big ring, the Krupp diamond that Richard Burton had given her. They were on a break at the time, and she used to take it off, and she used to say, catch, throw it, play catch with it. And I'd lost my teeth during the filming, and I had dentures that I had to wear, and I was losing them, constantly losing these teeth, and I'd get into trouble. And my mum was like, don't you give her the ring, please. And I would, you know, she was just... But what I'm trying to say is that she was this wonderful, iconic person, but she had so much fun. And all her pets and her entourage.
Motherly, wasn't she?
She was very maternal. And you know, she'd come to work, if she was in red, everyone in her entourage would have something red on them, whether it was a scarf or... It was just... And in those days, this was before Angelina Jolie and Brad, they were the, you know,
they were the couple. Well, because of the upbringing you had, which is, you know, incredible, really, with all of that going on, and you're in front of the camera. Did that make you, then, when you had your own children, a completely different parent?
Totally.
Absolutely. More protective?
Well, I won't. I think there's one photograph of me and the boys when my youngest son was 2, and it gets pulled out. I don't buy the papers at home, and I've got a great respect for journalism, but I can't start my day. It does. I don't care how strong a person you are. It does affect you. But there's one picture, I think, and my son's seen it online. And Lennon's like, please, because he's 6 foot now, and he's just like, please, can we? And we give
him another picture.
Exactly, and we get invited to all these premieres, and he loves films, and I've got to hide the things, throw them away before he gets back from school.
Why?
Because I don't want to make that decision for him. And I did the same with James, who is now working for his dad. He was working for his stepfather for 2 years. And James he's a businessman. He's just not interested in that.
I've got to ask you.
Yes.
We've both got something in common.
Oh, what? Who do we sleep with? The same person?
You've had 4 husbands, I've had 4 husbands.
Yes.
But you said only 2 of your husbands are real marriages.
Well, I meant the vows when I said it, but I would call, and this is with absolute respect to Dan and to Jeremy.
That's number 1, number 4.
Number 1, number 4. I was with Jim for a long time, and Liam, and we had our children that we wanted very much, and I've got a great relationship with them both, and that's something I'm very proud of, and I think my boys are very grounded because of that. And as I say, I've kept Lennon completely away, so you know, he's going to grow up and he's going to probably do things that, you know, I don't want it being written about. I want him to make his mistakes and learn from them and not be frightened of being him,
like a normal
and doing
boy.
him. You do you know. So it's a lot to put on a kid, I think, when you...
I mean, quickly, if you had smacked your children, because you'd have been listening before.
Oh, yes. No, I was given a thump when I was growing up. I mean, I turned out all right. It didn't affect me.
Talking about turning out all right, how are you now? Because it's been very well documented that
Yes,
you've been a little bit poorly.
Well, no, because in 2011, just very quickly, I had a huge ovarian cyst. It was about 28 centimetres, like the size of a football.
It's incredible.
And it was a complex tumour, which was worrying because of my mother died of cancer and my father did. So that was removed, and then within 18 months, I had 2 more of equal size at growth. So it was, I'd said on the first time, please just do a hysterectomy, and I was talked out of it. This happened again within 18 months. It was really scary, and so I went into hospital. I went, had the hysterectomy, and came round in intensive care in full-blown menopause. I have been. There's no perimenopause or no little introduction to it.
Just bang.
And that is a major operation. That people often diminish it, and psychologically and physically.
Jane, I've got to tell you, it's 9 weeks ago that I had that done. So I did too much initially, and you've got to listen to your body, but I'm having blood tests every 7 days because they're looking at my hormones. It's like chemistry.
Yeah.
And it's been so scary, and no one talks about it.
Yeah.
And if you do, it's like a public flogging. I mean, I'm really glad what happened has happened, because I do hope... So many women have come up to me and said, you know, thank God, and isn't it awful? And it's conscious puberty, I think you're going through, you know.
Right now.
Yeah, but and the thing, you own it. If you can own it and say that, and I think it's really... You know, women do each other such a disservice. I love to debate and talk and hash things out, but you know what? Just support one another, because we are indestructible if we do that.
Patsy, you have 100% support.
Thank you.
It's lovely to see you today.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much. Thank you.
That's it for today. Joan Collins will be here tomorrow. Have a lovely afternoon. Bye-bye.
David and the team are in Northampton today at 2 for Dickinson's Real Deal. Then on ITV, pets, kids and gold medalists. It's all on the Alan Titchmarsh Show at 3 today.
Here's to a catch-up cuppa. Loose Women, sponsored by PG Tips Cuppa Club.
Coming up, the government scraps its controversial immigration bans. The Prime Minister criticises Facebook for allowing videos of murders to be posted on its site, and gearing up for the royal christening. What can Prince George look forward to at tomorrow's ceremony? That's after the break.
Fun with up to half price on selected beauty and fragrances. That's the Littlewoods touch.
At Britain's biggest bingo site, you can play online, tablet or mobile. With tickets from just 10p on Bingo 90. Come join the fun at Tombola and get £20 free.
We all want to get on with our lives, which is why at the Cooperative Insurance we keep things fair and simple, while still giving you great value. Like 10% off car insurance when you buy online, as well as being able to add our top level of breakdown cover, which includes Home Start for just £34 in your first year. For insurance you can be sure of, go online or call our UK call centre on 0800 115 115 for a quote.
This is the amazing new Now TV box that turns your telly into a smart TV for a one-off $9.99. This is the easy way to watch catch-up TV and access Now TV to stream no contract Sky Movies and Sky Sports straight to your big TV, all in big picture quality. This is the amazing new box that turns your telly into a smart TV, so you can stream catch-up TV and access Now TV. This is the $9.99 Now TV box. Get yours at nowtv.com/bettertv.
Call at your HSL Comfort store at Ferryport View, Millbay Road, Plymouth to see our huge range of chairs that make sitting and rising easier. Chairs with extra back support. Even the price makes you feel comfortable. Chairs that recline to sit or snooze. Riser recliners that lift you to your feet at the touch of a button. Back care chairs with higher seats. Great value. Easy sitting and rising at HSL's Comfort store. Ferryport View, Millbay Road, Plymouth. Free parking.
Yeah? Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm getting older.
Well, there's got to be a logical explanation.
Well, maybe it's just a one-off. Well, yeah, maybe it is. Just a one-off, like you say. Listen, friend to friend. Maybe it's the red wine. Maybe it's an infection. Maybe.
Blood in your pee could be a sign of cancer, even if it is just the once. Finding it early makes it more treatable, so don't pass it off as a maybe. Tell your doctor. Be clear on cancer.
For years, PPI has been missold to millions with their bank loans. Fact. Banks have now set aside billions to repay you. Fact. Gladstone Brooks have helped tens of thousands and recovered millions of pounds. Fact. And we have a 96% customer satisfaction rate. Fact. For the facts about PPI compensation and up to £7,000 if your policy was missold, call us today on 0800 152 2020.